fathers out there, fatherhood, however you want to call it, whatever you want to say about it, parenting, doesn't matter. This right here, I'm going to address some things today. I think it's a good day to address it. I did have a little bit of one made earlier, and I'm going to take the blame for this, that this is the only time I'm not having a one-take video. I just feel like I wasn't able to really dive into my emotions or the way that I was thinking to really give you an inside look. Trying to be 100% so that people who maybe they're going to become a father, maybe they are fathers, maybe they just ain't got nobody around, and we can attribute it to another parent as well. You can dual use this, all right? But for me, I'm gonna talk from experience. I came from a single mom household. I don't talk a lot of private stuff all the time, but single mom. She raised me. Was the mother father role most of my life. When I got older, I did have a stepdad, and no harm, no foul to him at all. Good dude. But by that point, I had already kind of, I think, developed the role model in my head of, like, fathers and things like that. And that just is what it is. And that's what a lot of people suffer with. I think when they don't have the love of both parents as they grow up, you do truly lack that, and it really is detrimental to future relationships. Does it need to be something that dictates failed relationships for the rest of your life? No. That's on you to man up about. That's on you to say, hey, you know what? The past doesn't define me. The past isn't who I am. A lot of people will define you, and they're going to tell you that you are who you were, no matter what. You could be literally the Pope, man. Not the Pope. Let's leave somebody different. You know what I mean? That's not nowadays. But you could be literally like the most influential, famous person, right? And they're gonna be like, hey, it don't matter, man. You might be a good person now, but you was bad. So because you was bad, you still bad, right? As you kind of develop throughout your life, right? One parent love can give you pretty much everything. But there is multiple studies that show that, without that dual parent love, you do lack some things. Maybe how you view authority, how you view women, men, your sexual orientation, your sexual relationships, your sexual desires, how you are physically with touch, love, mentally, how you view things, emotional stability, all of it, right? All of that is derivative from either a single parent or a both parent household, right? So for me, the reason why I'm even really addressing this is recently, I had an instance of, my dad, who was a birthday Christmas dude most of my life, and that's what he chose, and that's okay. I respect that, because what I will say is that he wasn't one of those people who came around, put himself in your life, and then peaced out. Nah, it really wasn't a thing. My mom also made sure of that too. So kudos to her, because she a strong one for sure, especially raising somebody like me. Because I was a bad bad dude growing up sometimes. I was a handful. And when you look at it and you say to yourself, you kind of, I don't know, disassociate from the idea of, dads being in your life and things. And there has been instances, where I could have probably been a parent, there has been. And did I always do the right thing in those situations, the way I communicated my feelings or how I wanted to go about those situations? No. And a lot of that stuff you'll always remember for the rest of your life. That's definitely a scar on you that you will never forget, because you want to be better after you realize what you've done, right? Uh, and I think some of that comes from the idea that if you missed a parent in your life, you believe that you wanted to be, or you want to be, the most perfect parent for your child, right? You don't want them to ever miss anything. You don't want them to want for anything. You honestly want to be the difference maker. You never want what happened to you to happen to somebody else, whether it be a low level thing, it be abuse, sexual abuse, it doesn't matter, right? You don't want that to be pushed on them. So when you really evaluate how you're establishing relationships in your life, a lot of that plays a part where you have to really understand yourself, understand kind of what route you want to go in life. You could shut yourself off and you could say that, well, I'm never going to do that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to destroy somebody else, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to be an asshole to everybody because my dad or my mom was an asshole and whatever, right? But your past doesn't dictate your future, okay? Your past truly is not you, no matter what somebody says, and they will tell you that you are your past. No matter what mistakes you've ever done and whatever rights you've done to those wrongs, you will be viewed by people as your past. Okay, and kind of for me, what I've looked at recently with, about a year ago, I had seen my dad, and we had crossed paths and there was really no communication there whatsoever. Kind of really made me feel a very certain way, right? I was like, damn, like that's crazy. Like, I'm pretty successful, in my own right. I do well for myself. I take care of my body. I think I do pretty well compared to most people in our family. I would say I'm doing fairly good. I came from nothing and I really built what I could. I didn't not no empire, but I built what I could for myself. And a lot of people along the way I thank for certain stuff, and it kind of makes you feel a certain way. You really feel discouraged because you're like, man, like it don't matter what you do. Somebody's always going to look at you like, it doesn't matter. Like they're not really that invested in you. And when it comes from that type of parent, I do believe that that's really tough. Like that's hard on anybody, right? Because at the end of the day, you kind of like, I don't know. You want that love. You do look for that love. There's multiple studies that show, when you're missing one parent, the love for you that you feel towards the outward emotions towards people can be very different. How you are in relationships, sexual orientation, things like that. Uh, so I don't know. Fast forward a little bit, and I had some other family in my life who I just recently started talking to. It was a sister of mine who I'm very appreciative of. Great person, just like honestly a really great person, especially reaching out for those people who in their families they're very sporadic on who they speak to. I do want you to understand that that's okay. There are some people that no matter the blood relation, they're not your family. Okay, they're just not anymore. They've chosen that route, and I think that you kind of really need to understand that that's okay. It's okay. Don't get upset about it. Don't get offended about it because you know who you feel that your family's with. You may have other people in your life as well who aren't blood, and that's your family. I got brothers, from my sports culture growing up, all that. Those are my brothers. Doesn't matter, blood or not. I go to their family events, they come to mine. It doesn't matter, right? So when I had, reconnected with my actual dad recently, it was interesting. And I really want to document this because it was interesting in the way of how I viewed it, right? I used to think, man, I'm going to be mad as hell, right? You trash. Nah. And I think that comes in self realization from the videos I talked to you guys about and the feelings I feel and the mental health stuff. I do believe that you kind of start to really evaluate your thinking process, right? And you start to say to yourself, well, if that person didn't want you then and they didn't really want to be around at the time, don't fault them. That's what they wanted. Does it suck? Yeah. Is it kind of detrimental at times? I don't know. It can be, right? But it's up to you to say, well, you're not going to continue that cycle. And if that means that you don't have kids, this means you don't have kids. I wish that everybody could continue their bloodline. I wish everybody could give their parents a grandchild and watch them grow up. I think that would be such an amazing thing to be able to do. I do, man. I really do. I respect all you parents out there, and I respect people my age who get kids and stuff. And it's like it's phenomenal to see, right? And when I spoke to my dad, I was like, hey, it's all right, cool. I'm gonna talk to you like just a stranger, right? I'm gonna just have a conversation like a stranger because at that time it is a stranger. If you try to make it more than that, that's where you get messed up. That's where you don't really understand why you've why is this not working? Why is this relationship not building? Why is the communication hitting the wall? Because you're trying to go off of a past idea and put it in the future. It doesn't work, right? They just don't fit that mold anymore. And if you look at it like, well, they might be a stranger, you can still communicate with them. You don't got to be an asshole. You don't got to be mean. You just know that when you see them out, hey, how are you? Cool, great, nice to see you again. I appreciate your time, but don't overexert yourself. Don't don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself in a mental anguish of why I need to get there. I want my dad to view me a certain way. I want my mom to see me a certain way. I want my significant other to see me a certain way. Some people just will outgrow you, and you will outgrow some people. But don't falsely outgrow somebody by letting everything else around you, all the demons, all the negatives, all the social media, the porn, the Instagrams, and the crazy famous people, don't let that steer you away and think, oh, I've outgrown these. Nah, have you though? If you don't know yourself and you haven't grown yourself, how can you outgrow somebody else, right? As you grow, you will. But understand that some people are positive. Not everybody's negative, right? So when it comes to parenting, it's like, hey, I have an amazing mother. I can't even imagine what it would be like to raise somebody like me. I couldn't imagine all the ups and downs somebody like me, going back to school multiple times, having to get a couple different careers till I found the one that's made me who I am today, as successful as I am. It's tough, man. Did it all in a certain age, pounding it out just day after day, man. Such a short amount of time I did all that. Couldn't imagine that stress. Couldn't imagine what it was when I was younger, trying to talk to me about, certain things that you try to do your best. You still need a man's input, right? You still need a dad to talk to, girls, friends, whatever. You can't talk to your dad about none of that. Ain't there, right? So you do miss out on some of that. Maybe some sports you could have started early. But the path you're on is the path you're on. What you've got to right now is what you've allowed yourself to get to. You can achieve anything in this world if you allow yourself to. You're not limited to one thing. You're not limited because of a past with your parents. Oh, my dad wasn't around, and because of that, I don't care anymore. I don't care about nothing. I'm gonna treat women like shit, and I don't care. He wasn't around, so boo-hoo me. And that stuff is what gets you in trouble, man. People may not be around, but the people who aren't around don't have to dictate who you are as a person or what you believe in, right? So you got to keep faith in yourself, keep faith in what you believe in. If you believe in, the scriptures and all that, that also can help with father and mother figures, right? It can help guide you if you really look into it early enough. And if you don't till later, well, just maybe it took you a little while. But for me, I didn't go home depressed. I wasn't upset about it. It was an eye-opening experience because to me, I could actually get there and look and see and say, I've grown as a person. I've definitely grown as a person. So now I can move forward in maybe communication. Hey, all right, cool. We cool. We friends. We cool. But like you're not my dad, right? Like in that way, there wasn't like a raised type of thing. And I think that that's okay. If you have that realization, it's okay. It's not negative, man. You're not treating the person badly. They're not treating you badly. You just have to understand the boundaries and the limits. Don't extend yourself if you don't have it. Don't. It's just gonna get overused, man. It's gonna get overdone. You have to believe in who you are and what you're gonna be. And all you can really do, man, is evaluate your life and just like I do here, man, just talk about it. Maybe somebody else might be able to look at this and be like, oh man, that's nice. Okay. You know what? Yeah. If they do come around, I will just talk to them. Just talk to them normal, man. You don't have to go to their Thanksgiving dinner. You don't have to go to Christmas. You ain't got to buy presents or birthdays or nothing. It's not what it is. It's just self-realization and knowing that you feel confident in yourself. You feel confident that you know what you might have missed, and you're going to bring that to somebody else, that you're going to give what you've missed to somebody else. You will create that with somebody. I have faith in you. I have faith that you will create that. Some of us might take longer than others, man. We ain't controlling of our timeline. We just can do what we can within our timeline. So just keep at it, man. Thought that was a good topic today, and just keep pushing, man. One step in front of the other, no matter what, steady pressure.